Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Shin Gear. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Happen to have on my Shin shirt today. What a coincidence.
Yep, kind of the way it rolls today. Yeah. With us today from Iowa Park, Texas, from the Wichita Falls Coyotes, Erin Nimetz. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm great. How are you?
Our favorite teachers in the house today, again, going to talk about death, killing, serial killers.
Yeah. We have a cool thing lined up in March.
Yep, we're going to have a true crime camp.
Yes.
I was calling it a death camp. They told me I needed another name. It's going to be for ladies only.
I queued it up a little bit.
Be at the lodge from March 6th, 7th, and 8th. Be a great Christmas gift. Your wife, you don't know what to buy her. She loves to find ways to kill. She's thinking about ways to kill you all the time. They watch shows. Come to the lodge, have a Friday afternoon, have a seminar, I guess, dinner that night.
Yeah, I have kind of an intro session Friday night, and then a couple of sessions Saturday, and breakout session Sunday morning,
and that we'll have dinner Friday night, 3 meals on Saturday, breakfast Sunday, and a breakout session. So you've never done one of these before, have you?
I have not.
Can't be any different than teaching a class, though.
Yeah,
you can keep kids interested.
I think it's interesting what you're teaching now.
Yeah. I think I'm going to pare down some of the things that I do at school, and if there's enough interest as we go, then maybe we can have a second session where I do more stuff.
Oh, I think that's going to be a big hit because people are going to want to do it, and it's a chance for ladies to get away. They can bring a glass of wine if they want to, or a bottle or a box of wine. And
it'd be a fun girls' trip.
Yep, and dive into everything about why you hate men and want to see them die. So I just finished the book. Is it Scream at the Sky?
Oh, yes. I haven't read it, but...
Is it Scream at the Sky? I think it is.
So.
It's the serial killers in Wichita Falls, where we're both from. That's a very good book.
It's on my list to get.
It's a very, very good... I've read it in a day. But I also had some connection because I knew some of the people involved in that stuff. And that's how that all went down was crazy. For people that don't know, it's Farron Waldrop.
Farron Wardrop.
Okay, Wardrop or Waldrop?
I think it's Wardrop. Wardr.
I think it's Waldrop.
Waldrop?
I think it's Waldrop. Farron Waldrop. He was he lived in Albany, Texas, and was a youth minister maybe at the church there. And he had killed a bunch of women back in the early 80s. And Wichita Falls was a serial killer. And the book's basically about him and how that all came about. And the prosecutor in Wichita Falls is the one that cracked this case.
That was it John Little?
John Little, yes.
Yeah, and he went down and he was eating cheese crackers outside of the factory.
Yep.
And he went over and asked for a spit cup, and he said, "Look in that trash can."
And found the one with the orange.
Found the one with the orange crackers on it.
And that's how they busted the case. But the guy had told them they'd picked him up on some charges in the early 80s in Beaumont or somewhere, and he said something about Ellen Blau killing her, and they did. The cops said, I don't understand how they missed that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're a cop and you got a guy in your back seat of your car and you're questioning him about something, and he talks about a murder of a lady that's missing or that had been murdered, you'd have thought 2 and 2 would come together, and he just completely just blew over their head on that stuff. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the book. It's in my Amazon list at the moment.
So all you do is read these kind of books?
No, I don't.
Be a pretty bleak life if that's all you read.
I do a lot of I ask people that I know that are in this. We have a friend that's a judge. He used to work at the DA's office in Wichita County. And so I talked with them. I talked with law enforcement people. I went and did that externship this summer and learned some stuff at the sheriff's department. So it's all kind of self-taught.
Do you have a problem with a bad search warrant making evidence thrown out in court? Things are just little minuscule deals, like the Wilder, the baby. They threw a lot of that stuff out because of a wrong cell phone number, even though they know the guy killed the kid.
Yeah.
I have a real problem with that.
Yeah. I do too. But it's
a legal system.
It's the legal, yeah. That's the way it...
The criminals have more rights than the victims do.
Yeah. A lot of times.
And you see that way all the time.
Did you watch the new Monster on Netflix, the Ed Gein one?
Yes. Okay. So I watched I watched about half of it.
I was so disappointed. I watched like 3 episodes.
Yeah. I didn't get through it all because it was very not true.
Yeah. Like the first two were really good. The first one was Dahmer, and then the second one was the Menendez brothers, and like I feel like those were pretty close to the actual story. This one was just all over the place. It was like trying to tie Ed Gein to, and I understand like Ed Gein was responsible for Buffalo Bill, The Silence of the Lambs, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Psycho, but like it was like trying to like flash forward and flash back to his impact on Hollywood. But like I just feel like if you would have just told the Ed Gein story, it would have been much better.
Tell me the Ed Gein story, because I don't even know who Ed Gein is.
Oh, the Butcher of Plainfield.
Yeah. So he was schizophrenic. He had lots of mental issues and mom issues. Mom was overbearing and put down.
Is this the real big, tall guy?
No,
Okay.
that's Ed Kemper.
Okay.
Kemper.
Yeah. So Ed grew up in this life with mom being domineering and all the things, and dad was absent.
drunk?
So, yeah, kind of absent. And anyway, brother kind of figured it all out and left, but then came back. There was an issue. He hit him with like a log or something, killed the brother, and then tried to act like it was a fire, an accident in the fire. But then mom died, and he just was crazy. He went out and dug people up out of graves, took their skin off of them.
He's making a woman's suit.
Made a nipple belt.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. The
A
pictures.
nipple belt.
Yes.
He made like all of his furniture was out of human skin. Like he had lamps of just human skin that be the lampshade, chairs with human skin.
Nobody going to visit him didn't kind of think this was a little
Nobody
peculiar.
visited him.
No. Yeah.
He didn't have he was just a hermit basically. I don't know if he's a hermit. I think he was out in town, but
He would take the bones and make silverware.
yeah.
The handles were bones, and then put the end of the fork on there.
Favorite bowl was a top
skull
of a
cap.
human skull.
Oh,
Yeah.
How many people did this guy kill?
He only killed 2 people.
Yep.
He sure got the most out of his deal.
He dug
Oh, he was a
everybody.
grave
he was
robber.
grave robber, yeah.
Grave
When was
robber.
this taking place?
40s?
Oh.
40s or 30s?
I wonder
50s maybe? But I can look that up.
When did they start putting caskets in tombs in, or vaults, or whatever it is?
Well,
in the
his mom, he tried to dig up his mom first, and they had like entombed her somehow, so he couldn't dig up his mom. So he dug up the lady next to her. And so he died in 84. Here it is. The Butcher of Plainfield killed Mary Hogan in 54, killed Bernice Warden in 57.
So he only killed 2 people, but he was a grave robber.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm assuming he's getting freshly killed people if he's getting skinned, because I would figure that would.
He would watch like the obituaries. He would watch and go dig them up.
He was suspected in 7 other, and that was another thing. So like he kind of in the show, so he was suspected of 7 other murders, and in that show they just attributed it to him, like that babysitter or whatever he killed. They gave that to they basically if he was suspected of killing somebody, they just went ahead and
Pinned
showed
it
it in
on
the
him.
show.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this story's crazy enough. You could have just told what actually happened, and it would have been way better.
Yeah.
Did they try to tie it to Hollywood too much?
Like one episode, it was like with his influence on Psycho. Another one, it was his influence on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then I kind of quit. We quit after 3.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock wrote Psycho, right?
Yes.
So he
It was based on... No, I don't think he didn't write... He directed it.
Oh, he didn't write Psycho?
No, because I watched a show on Hitchcock, and he was kind of in a slump. And they gave him the book Psycho and said, we want to make a movie over it. And he fell in love with it. And he ordered all of his assistants to buy every copy of Psycho that's out there, because he didn't want somebody to read the book and then watch the movie and know, because he was going to kill off the main character at the very beginning, which had never been done before.
I've never seen the movie.
I think it's Jamie Lee Curtis's mom, isn't it? I think if I'm right. Yeah. So
What's her mother's name? I think you are right there.
But he was like, she gets killed off. You know, the main character gets killed off right away. And that's never been done. So he's like, we got to pull every copy of Psycho that we can find. That way nobody can read it before they see the movie.
Who was the star of it? It was Anthony Perkins?
Yes.
Wasn't he's the...
Yes, it was Anthony Perkins.
I've never seen it.
I'd never seen it either at all. I've never seen nothing of Alfred Hitchcock's. I didn't know that he did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, though.
Robert Bloch wrote Psycho. And then Hitchcock made the movie.
Did Hitchcock write anything, or did he just direct movies?
You're asking me questions I don't know, Jeff.
Because like Stephen King, we went to his house in Maine this year. Or we didn't get to go in or nothing, but he had 2 houses next door, and they both were beautiful old homes, probably built in the early 1900s, but a lot of creepy shit outside. Well, Stephen King's a weird dude. But he's a very good author. I mean, he's wrote some things. Misery is one of the best, and that makes you hurt. If you watch Misery and your leg's not hurting you, something's wrong with you.
He did not write any of his own films.
That's what I was wondering about. But Stephen King wrote, I mean, which is one with the car? You ever seen that one where the car is possessed? Christine. Great show. A great show. And I'm surprised somebody hasn't remade it. It's really, really good. And Carrie's the prom queen one, right?
And Pet Sematary.
I mean, he's a weird dude. I'm telling you. And I do not like scary movies at all. I will not watch a scary movie. Anything, especially like The Conjuring. Like,
yeah, or Saw. I can't do any of those.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I don't know what Saw is.
It's awful.
Torture.
Oh, no, I don't want to watch. But that part, I can see some weird bitch doing there. There's weird people out there. But like the spirits and stuff, I ain't playing that game. I think you're just opening shit up for yourself.
Andy, have you ever looked at Albert Fish? Did we talk about Albert Fish?
We talked about
time?
He was the one that put needles in his pelvis.
Yeah.
No, I never have.
Yeah.
I did see the next monster is going to be Lizzie Borden.
Been at her house.
She swung an axe.
She was just a crazy lady. I mean, she wasn't would you call that a serial killer or just one incident? It's not a serial killer.
Can't be a serial killer.
Yeah, you got to kill 3.
That's the
Separate
the
times.
FBI rules for being a serial killer.
Ed Gein was just one away.
There's a lot of that going on right now. I just saw is it in Miami? Houston's got Austin has a serial killer
Austin
right now.
does.
And in Houston, all the bodies being found in the bayous. What's going on?
They're not all mob hits. I did not realize that Ted Bundy had started out. Did you know that he worked for the police department? He wrote the book in Seattle on how to prevent getting raped. Isn't that kind of weird? Now, it wasn't getting raped and getting killed afterward, and then some guy coming in and raping you 10 times after you're dead. But he was working for them. He was going to law school.
Didn't he help? Who helped? Seemed like he helped them
With
catch
somebody.
someone else.
Was it like Robert Ramirez or something like that?
Maybe it was the Night Stalker.
Because their crimes are kind of similar.
Well, he had perfected how to not get caught without the DNA evidence because they didn't have DNA back then. Like he would go back to the crime scene and clean it up after he had removed a body, even because there was a girl that got that got taken out of an alley, and it was a well-lit alley in Seattle, and she just disappeared into the deal. So the cops went the next day after she disappeared and looked, and they'd come to. He'd went back after he took her off somewhere, killed her, raped her, came back, cleaned some. Picked a watch up and something else that was hers and left with it before the cops got there, and then went and raped her again.
It was the Green River Killer that he helped identify.
Yeah.
There was another good show I started watching, Happy Face, about the Happy Face killer. It's on Paramount Plus. So basically, I only watched one episode. I swore I was going to watch the whole series, but I never did. The Happy Face killer starts to get back in contact with his daughter, and it was a good show. But like, he was a trucker, and then he would kill people while he was on the road, and every time he killed somebody, he would like take something off of them, and then when he got back home, he had all these gifts to give his kids. Well, they were actually just loot from the women that he'd raped and strangled. So he's like, hey, here's a nice keychain I found in Texas. Well, it belonged to, or here's a guitar pick. That's what it was. It was like a guitar pick. Came off of one of his victims. So his daughter, he said that he was gonna, I think he was gonna admit to another murder or something that they couldn't pin him on, but he was only gonna tell his daughter because like she had cut off all contact with him and was like, I'll only confess if you bring my daughter to me. I'll confess to her and y'all can have cameras rolling and all that other stuff. But, you got to bring her to me. So it seemed like a good show. I'll pick it up.
They did the same thing with the BTK killer too. Get his daughter to come talk to him, and she won't have nothing to do with him ever again. That's a weird deal too. So the guy kills for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then doesn't kill again for 20 years. And why did he start killing again? Do they know? And we're asking these questions like you know these
Yeah,
people.
I don't know. I don't. Is he's the one, or was it the Golden State Killer? One of them actually like followed the police to try to get information off of them so they could do other things to not get caught.
Okay, explain that to me. I'm lost here.
Maybe it was. I'm gonna have to look it up.
The BTK guy was a guy at Wichita, Kansas that completely.
Yeah.
They thought he was dead, or they thought he died or had moved somewhere because the killing stopped for 20 years, and all of a sudden it came back.
Came back.
And then he got caught, like he wanted to get caught almost to that point.
The Golden State Killer. He was a police officer.
Okay.
Yeah, and he kind of did the same thing. He would kill, and then he would stop for a period of time, and then he'd go back and do more killing.
I think the first kill's got to be the hardest for those people.
I
really has to be. But it's just crazy how they just. Man, I was reading more about Ted Bundy today. I'm doing it. I've got a thing on another podcast I've got to do later. He's one part of it, so I read on him today, and I'd read a little bit about him and stuff. But just to be that dark about stuff, and
he was so smart.
Yeah, he's a lawyer, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Went to law school.
Yeah,
it was so much easier to be a killer then, though.
Yeah.
Everybody,
absolutely.
because people hitchhiked. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see these 19-year-old girls hitchhiking everywhere wearing.
And they're all good looking too in the movies.
Oh, it's either going to start out as a porno or a damn horror movie. You don't know what it's going to be like when you see that shit. But it just doesn't. It was everybody was so naive back then. Oh yeah, I'll jump in a car with you. Yeah, you wouldn't do that today.
No.
And you wouldn't talk to someone for a week. So where's Sally? Oh, she was hitchhiking from Oregon to Texas. Yeah, we'll talk to her in 2 or 3 weeks, and that was it. And it's so much easier to do it back then than it was today. But we've got a lot of serial killers going on now. And I don't even know how they could even get by with it.
Especially with cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
And cell phones. Mm-hmm. Like Koberger, that was his big thing, was the cell phone. Just leave it at home. But I guess the guys that are running loose now are smart enough to leave their cell phone at the house. Because, I mean, it's going to geotag you wherever you're at.
What do y'all, what do you got new what have you learned in your forensics class? Because you do a lot of y'all's own experiments and stuff. Mm-hmm. What's one of the most fascinating things y'all have learned?
It's not just real exciting, but hair and fiber. Kim Price, y'all,
Kim's been on the podcast with
yes. She has a whole bunch of different animals that they went to Africa and went hunting, and I got hairs from all of their animals. And the differences in the hairs microscopically is fascinating. A deer hair versus a rabbit hair versus human hair, all of it it's all very individualized, and that's fascinating.
Is the human hair all different, or is everybody's the same?
The basic setup of it is the same, and depending upon your color. So like my natural color is kind of a darker brown. And then when you look at it, you'll see the medulla, the inner part of it is more continuous than, say, a blonde. It'll be a little less continuous.
Right.
It's almost impossible to get away with murder if they find a body today.
Why?
There's just so many different forensic things that they can pick up on.
Well, I mean, they're finding the bodies in Austin, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess it just seems like there's so much better. There's technology is so much easier today, and they can pull so much stuff off of a body now. Like, let's say these girls in Austin have been stabbed or whatever it is. Well, usually most stabbings, the person doing the stabbing also gets cut a little bit, or there's some blood or whatever it is. I mean, you take a knife and you try to stab somebody. First of all, the knife handle gets slick. Blood's everywhere. You're going to cut your fingers and hands. A lot of people that stab people, they cut themselves. So then you get a mixed match blood on there. Mm-hmm. Well, 20, 30 years ago, that they couldn't differentiate the difference, but they can pull DNA off of a body so much better than they used to.
And fingerprints, this was also fascinating to me. They can fume fingerprints on skin, and it'll crystallize on the skin.
So if I strangled you, they can actually get your finger. I did not know
fume
that.
it, yeah. And we actually fume. That's one of the things that
Explain fume.
Okay, so you take super glue and you put it in a little. Well, if it's a body, you would tint the body, and you would warm it with a little bit of water, like some humidity in the tint, and let it go for 5 minutes or so, and then it'll just crystallize on the print.
Where you put the super glue at?
The super glue is separate. So the super glue is going to be sitting on, like, those little candle warmers that you plug in. So you would set it on that, maybe on foil or something. Just put super glue on that foil, set it on the warmer, have it humid, and let it go for 5 minutes. And that super glue will actually adhere and crystallize to the fingerprint.
So when you put that body in a warm state, like a humidity, it'll crystallize that print?
To this, on the skin, wherever that print is.
So you could just put a body in there and you can scan it and see if there's any fingerprints on it.
Yeah, I would expect that you would want to tint, like if you thought it was a neck or something, you would focus that.
You would see the strangulation marks of the purple
on that
or whatever.
one area instead of doing the entire body. But
that's crazy.
It is. It's pretty cool.
I wonder how they figured that out.
Well, the Chinese invented fingerprinting 1,000 years ago, though, I think.
Yeah, through, that was one of the ways that they identified each other, just through their thumbprints on clay and stuff.
But and so it's come to this now.
Yeah.
Who came up with the DNA samples on how to do that? Do you know? That's got to be a remarkable breakthrough.
Like how to
match
them?
I wonder where someone came up for everybody's got a completely different DNA.
Sir Alec Jeffreys in 1984 invented technique of DNA fingerprinting.
In 84. That's not that long ago.
Not very long ago.
Well, how do they do it? Does it say, Andy?
They probably run it through electrophoresis.
Well, we're way over my head on this stuff now.
So you would isolate the DNA and then put it in, it's a little plastic well. They call it a well. So you put it in this well in these little spots, and then you hook electricity up to it. And as the electricity runs through this gel, it'll deposit certain parts of the DNA as their density allows. So the less dense, it'll deposit earlier. The more dense, it'll deposit earlier, and the less dense further out. And so you end up with kind of a hash mark look on this line. And then if you run if you run a suspect versus a known and they match the two, then you have your match.
That don't tell me much other than there's some bitches are a lot smarter than me that figured that crap out. Who would have thought about electricity? I've seen the actual codes that they have on them, and everybody's DNA is completely different. Everyone's. So what happens if a dad kills someone or it's his son that kills someone? Because the DNA's got to be pretty damn close.
So there is a thing called mitochondrial DNA, and that is maternal, which is also pretty fascinating. So if you have a suspect and you have a DNA sample, and the suspect, you can't get their DNA sample from them, they're gone, whatever, you can go to that suspect's mother and get her DNA sample if she's still around, and it should match.
Let's just say, for example, here.
But it's only maternal.
This might be question might be way over your head too, and it may not be because nothing seems to be close to over your head. So I'm gonna shoot this at you. Farron Waldrop. Let's say that his mother was dead. Could you exhume her body and pull DNA from her to get his DNA?
You could. I mean, I don't know the legalities of it all, but
let's say you got permission from his family to go or whatever. Could you exhume a body to get the DNA?
I think so. Now, DNA is going to degrade over a certain period of time, but I don't think it degrades really, really fast.
I wonder if bone marrow would be that way to get it then.
I don't know.
Because to me, that would be encased and be the last thing that you could do.
It says it's thousands of years it'll last.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
As long as there's no pH or heat degradation or anything like that.
One thing I learned about the Ed Gein thing is that a lot of the pictures we see online are fake. So they said that because it happened during the 50s, which one thing that I thought was interesting, like, so today, anytime anything bad happens, like we blame video games and we blame the Democrats and, you know, everything, whatever. But if it happened in the 50s, like it happened in the happy days and, you know, the times of Andy Griffith. So like if Ed Gein were to happen today, what would the public blame it on? I just thought that was kind of funny. You know, this is the golden age of America, and you got this guy that's doing all this heinous stuff. Like, if it happened in 2025, you know, what Grand Theft Auto are we going to blame it on? Shit, I lost my train of thought. I got off on a tangent.
People are batshit crazy.
Well, I was talking about Ed Gein, wasn't I?
Yeah, you're talking about Ed Gein and how who would we blame it on in the 50s compared to today?
I can't remember where I was going with that.
Well,
it's been a long day, but it'll come to me and then I'll bring it back up.
We had a guy that lived in Knox City in the 40s or 50s that killed his parents. He was living at home still, middle-aged. His mom and dad were older parents. He still lived with them, which was not common in, I don't even know what time. We're going to say mid-60s. I don't know the time frame. I've heard this story 1,000 times. But anyways, he murdered his parents and put them in the back of their car and drove to town for a week or two. And he was parked somewhere downtown, and they could see the body fluid dripping. It stunk and body fluid. But he killed both of his parents. But he was into mutilating cats and stuff. I mean, there's just some batshit crazy people out there. I mean, that's everybody we've talked to. It's a serial killer. You talk about Ted Bundy. He was a real smart guy and stuff. Something's missing upstairs.
Yeah, and most of them have what's called the McDonald triad. It's a 3-part. So it's bedwetting.
No shit, I did that.
Way past the normal.
Acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
way
on
past it.
I'm on the list right now, so let's go.
Pyromania.
And never into that.
And animal mutilation.
Boy, I'm just 1 out of 3. Thank God. What that bed when I was little, I had me nervous for a little bit.
And almost all of them have some sort of head trauma. It's wild. Almost every serial killer, at least that I've gone over in my class, has had some sort of head trauma. They fell off a swing and hit their head on the concrete or whatever when they were kids.
Have you investigated the mother's relationship with the serial killers? That would be interesting to see. Because I just think of Ed Gein and I think of Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper had that domineering mother, and so did obviously Ed Gein only killed 2 people.
Both the Eds had no dads in their life either, did they?
I don't know about Ed Kemper.
I don't know about that either. I know he killed the grandparents, right?
Yeah. I think did he kill his mom too?
Ted Bundy didn't have a dad.
He did a lot of things to his mother's
He did a lot.
corpse.
Yeah.
That was pretty rough.
I think no dad.
But it would be interesting to see the serial killer's relationship with their mother.
Yeah. I think a lot of them have had issues, mom issues.
Right. And they're taking it out on their victims. It would be. I don't know anything about Ted Bundy's relationship with his parents.
He didn't have a dad. His mom got knocked up by somebody. They didn't know if he was in the Air Force or if it was a name, but there was like 12 people in that name wherever he was born. I think he was born in Burlington, Vermont, and there was like 12 people right around Burlington, Vermont that had that same name. So it come down to a couple of names, but I don't think he had an active father figure in his life. But he was really a smart guy, book-wise.
He was.
We'll swap this up, just to change this up just a little bit. The kid that killed the people in Utah. Idaho. Did he come from a normal family?
Believe so, yeah. In Pennsylvania. But I think he was bullied, from what I can gather. I think he was, from what I've seen, his early days, he was kind of an outcast, a little bit overweight, kind of pudgy, didn't really fit in anywhere. And then he was also in criminology, wasn't he?
He was.
He was going to be a criminologist or a detective or something like that. But I think he kind of gotten in shape, but still was kind of striking out with the ladies. And then took to murder. One thing that I had seen, one theory is that he had seen one of those girls at a party and probably got the cold shoulder and was like, well, I'll just show you one day.
And that's just nuts.
Right.
That's just nuts.
Well, if I killed every girl that told me no in my lifetime, shit, I'd be right up there with all of them. Every man's that way. Your husband right there. Can you imagine you killing every woman that ever told you no?
I never got told no.
1 for 1.
You're 1 for 1 then.
1 for 1.
Good for you. 1 for 1. But I mean, you think about that. Just because some girl told you no.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I'm talking about no on dating, not sleeping
Well,
with, just a no on a date.
And it's one thing just to like I'm talking like I would do this, but it's one thing to just shoot somebody, and walk away. But he was up close and personal.
Yeah.
Like that was a pretty.
Yeah.
I've always said, I understand a lady, a husband, someone, a coworker, something happens and someone snaps and they kill somebody. Not justifying it at all.
Right.
But if we went home and Michelle snapped at me and she killed me, shot me, whatever, just snapped, a deal of rage or something, I understand how that happens sometimes. I don't understand how people just randomly go kill people. Like to have hatred enough to stop on the side of the road and shoot somebody. It wasn't long ago out here somewhere, a couple of years ago, there was some nut job riding around with a rifle, and he was just pulling up to stop, like pull somebody as it pulls up to a stop sign, and pow, shoot him and drive down the road. How do you have that much hatred just to random or a terror attack or something like that?
Or you have to be completely removed from
Yes.
any emotion,
Yeah,
and that's scary too.
I don't understand that, but I understand how someone snaps or they get in a relationship and find out your spouse has cheated on you or done something or whatever, or you get in a bad business deal. People have things happen and they do stupid shit and they pay the ultimate price, and so does the victim. But I don't understand just randomly driving down the road. I'm going to kill 7 people today.
Yeah.
But that Koberger thing, so I listened to a lot of Dr. Peterson, and he talked about Cain and Abel. And so the reason Cain killed Abel is because his offerings weren't as good, so he wasn't favored by God. So he killed the best thing that he had in his life, which was Abel. Everything Abel touched turned to gold. Everything Cain did turned to shit. So he's like, well, screw it. I'll just kill Abel. So that's what Koberger had. He was his offerings weren't enough to the women. So finally he gets to the point where it just turns to murder.
Is that the guy in Idaho?
Yeah, Brian Koberger. It's a story. I mean, it's one of the oldest stories in the Bible. So humans are not that different than what we were a long time ago. But
I'm interested in seeing how this murder goes with that singer David. Have you? It's D4VID is how you spell his name. But there was a girl that was found in his Tesla, abandoned, dismembered, and come to find out she had been frozen at one point.
Jesus. So this is a singer guy?
Yeah.
So he killed a girl, froze her, and then put her back in his car and dismembered her.
Yes. And he's not cooperating now with police, and I'm not sure where we're at.
So he's the
in
main
end, but
suspect.
He is, but they did say that the medical examiner had to not stop, but they everything was kind of changed once they got her and started looking at her because she had been frozen.
That's
what? So his name is D4VID.
She was like maybe underage.
Yeah, I think she was like 13 years old.
geez, that's and pregnant.
I think so. That's why he may have killed her.
Huh. Teen body reportedly found partially frozen. Huh. No, I hadn't seen any of
There are
this yet.
some nut jobs out there. I mean,
And I mean, not to stereotype, but he's black, and you don't see a whole lot of black serial killers. Like this is the whites have this down,
whoa, hold on. Nobody said anybody being a serial killer.
or doing stuff like that. White people are if the body's
As a white
dismembered.
person, I don't really know how I feel about this.
Listen,
Kinda shading, throwing shade here.
We have the murder thing cornered, so don't try. This is our thing. We're good at it for whatever reason.
I can't disagree with that. If it's not a drive-by shooting, there's a good chance. I used to always tell people, if you watch the news, someone gets stabbed, it's a Mexican do it. If someone gets caught and if they've killed more than one person, it's usually a white guy.
Now, the most prolific serial killer, at least that I know of, Samuel Little. He's African American.
Yeah, Samuel
So
Little.
see there, she done 3 good deal.
That's an anomaly. He killed a bunch though. It was like 70, wasn't it?
I think it was like 90.
Oh, it
something.
was?
Yeah.
Strippers,
Across the United States.
were
yeah.
they hookers?
I think they were kind of all walks.
Women of the night.
Women, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if you're a hooker, a prostitute, you better watch out because you're number one on everyone's list. If there's anybody that's out there that's a killer, first thing you hear it's a prostitute. Don't worry about some John beating you up or your pimp. You better worry about somebody killing you.
I'd be interested to see the number of murders when they got the interstates done, east to west. It had to have spiked. You know what I mean? Because transportation got easier. So you got and truckers on the road. You got people. I saw some crazy stat just not long ago about how many serial killers are actually active that are just truckers, and it's just kind of like a one-off. Like one person gets killed here, and it's just like, well, we just got a dead body. We don't really know what to do with it. But I think I-40 might be the interstate with the most unsolved killings. Just random people die from trucker, or not, it don't have to be truckers. It could be anybody on the road, but
Passing through.
But yeah, deaths had to have shot up whenever the interstates cross country got to rocking and rolling. Boy, that's gonna piss me off. I've been sitting here the whole time trying to think of where I was going with Ed Gein, and it still has not come back to me. It is just not my day, I guess.
What do you think the top 3 skilled serial killer occupations are?
Surgeon. A lot of surgeon. Truckers.
Nope.
It's going to be truckers. It's truckers.
No, it's not even close. Now, this one shocks me.
Carpenter?
Aircraft machinist assemblers.
What?
Yep. Shoemaker repair person. And automobile upholsterers.
Are the top careers for serial killers?
That's the top 3 skilled. Top 3 semi-skilled serial killer operations: forestry worker, truck driver, and warehouse manager.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm looking at the at theconversation.com. I don't understand. I would have never thought those things. And how many damn aircraft mechanics are there? I mean, you got 10 at Shepherd Air Force Base. One of them's a serial killer.
Well, that's ChatGPT. I don't like yours. Occupation.
I'm looking at AI.
Well, it's wrong.
Okay, what you're saying?
It's pulling up. Truck drivers. The most common occupation
what I thought too.
Among American serial killers is truck drivers. Truck drivers, factory workers, skilled laborers, security personnel.
I can see that one too.
Military, and then healthcare workers. And the most common occupation between all of them is unemployed.
How does a truck driver get somebody in his truck to kill?
Hitchhiking.
There ain't be damn hitchhikers no more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the lot lizards are big on the target list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a tough.
So are you safer to get in one of them Punjabi Dobby guy trucks where they shit in the floorboard, or are you waiting on someone to kill you? You know that story, right? Did you know that? The Punjabi Dobby guys?
No.
They tag team like 3 or 4 guys in their truck, and they never stop. And they don't stop to go to the bathroom, so they have holes in the floors, and they just shit driving down the road. And people that truck, now this is a true story. We've had people here where trucking companies will not work on their trucks because all the shit and stuff underneath them.
Ugh.
But they're probably not serial killers because they're Hindus. So are you safer to ride with one of them guys?
There's no room if there's 4 of them in there.
Yeah, who no doubt.
No.
Thought curry smelt bad, but shit on the bottom of your truck sounds a whole lot worse. So now if I see one of them cross me and it's got the turban on, they drive by, I'm like, don't get behind him. Stay in front. What are you looking at, Andy?
Just more about the 80s were the best time to be a serial killer.
When was Gary Ridgway? He was a Green River killer. He called himself a psycho frugal path.
Frugal path.
A psycho.
With tight ass?
Mm-hmm. He would go offer money for services and then kill her.
So he didn't have to pay her.
82 to 98.
There you go.
Well, that is a way to get out of doing it, though. I mean, you got to give him that.
Confessed to 71 murders.
But I don't think he could get... It's going to be harder now to do that kind of stuff, rack up those kind of kills, because he probably did some of them at seedy motels and shit. Mm-hmm. Those seedy motels all have cameras now. Everywhere has a camera. Them lot lizards, they got cameras in every one of the Love's truck stops or wherever you would be at.
Yeah, I would think it would be much harder nowadays
to be a serial
killer.
The Zodiac, I watched a movie on it, and it was a great movie. That was a sharp guy.
He was really smart.
He was, and just it was a game. Mm-hmm. And it was just crazy at that time what it must have been like. Because you're younger than me, so you probably don't remember all the stuff in Wichita Falls with the serial. I remember that for a couple of weeks. That was a very, if you would have been a young woman at that time,
I'm sure.
And then when you listen to the books and when you read that book, those women gave him a ride. I mean, here's some dude walking down the street homeless, and the Gibbs girl was a smoke show. She was a good looking girl. She just gives this random dude a ride, and then he kills her.
Yeah.
And she fought him. And so for people who don't know, it's Wichita Falls had this killer, and her name was Tony Gibbs, I believe. And she was a really pretty lady, and she was killed by this serial killer. Anyways, she was a nurse at Bethania Hospital, or Wichita General, one of them. And he's walking by when she gets to her car, and she gives him a ride. They drive out in the country, and I guess he started trying to have sex. They have sex, and then they got in a fight, and he beat her ass. She crawled from that old train deal where they found her body and crawled, and that's where they found her dead. And the animals had started eating on her. It was real cold that winter. But I don't understand how you just randomly give some dude a ride. I wouldn't give a random chick a ride. I would think, hell, there's something's wrong here. And these women taking guys and giving, I mean, just.
So the Green River Killer was caught through DNA. They didn't have it whenever he started killing. They didn't have DNA testing, but they saved it all. So when DNA comes on the scene, they were able, because all of it was kept, they were able to test the DNA, semen, hair fibers, all that stuff, and it came back to him, is how they ended up catching him.
Seemed like there was some a paint chip or something that they found, and he worked at a trucking company for Kenworth or something, and they traced it back to the paint on.
It was one of a kind paint, probably. I guess.
I can find that.
I think.
Yeah. Let me see here. It's still going back to DNA, but I'll look up paint because you got to know how to talk to this thing.
As a lady that studies this all the time, and I'm assuming you're fascinated with this, or you wouldn't be part of your plan. I feel really nervous for your husband sometimes. But what's the perfect way to kill someone?
Oh.
You've thought about it.
Before you start, there was paint that played a pivotal role in it. Yeah. Paint particles found on victims pointed to him years earlier. So, yeah, there were paint flakes that from the Kenworth factory paint.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you were right about that.
And then once they traced it back to him, then they did everything. The DNA. Yeah.
Right. Yep. So you were right.
Crazy.
Okay, now perfect murder.
Perfect murder. If you've thought about this, because you can't tell me that you've not killing your husband, just in general though, you've thought, if I had to kill somebody, you've studied all this stuff. What is the perfect murder?
Shotgun, because it's not traceable. You can get a bullet, you can test rifle and pistols, shotgun, no pattern, you're good. That's mine. But it's gonna be messy.
Honestly, I haven't thought about it. But I do catch myself driving down the highway, looking off to the side of the road, thinking, how would anybody find like a body? A body can decompose given the right circumstances, the environment.
Summer in Texas.
Yeah.
In August, how quick?
It can, a week. I mean,
Right.
You're going to have bones left, but like, it's not going to be recognizable after 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's fast.
So what's the perfect murder like? Andy talks about shooting a shotgun. That's loud. That's messy. But you're going to dispose of the body somewhere. I've always said, if you're going to kill someone, you can't let them find the body. It's hard to prove a murder case without a body.
Robert Pickton, he was a serial killer, and he got rid of his victims by grinding them up and feeding them to his pigs.
Kind of
That's a good way
like
to do
on
it.
fried
Yeah.
green tomatoes.
I thought that was
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
That's what they did a lot of times back in the Western days when they dispose of a body, feed them to pigs. But not everybody's got access to pigs. So if you were going to kill your husband, you would take him to a pig farm to dispose of the body.
Sure.
You got to keep them hungry for a couple of days. I saw this part on Snatch with Brad Pitt. You got to like not feed them for like 4 or 5 days. That way they're hungry. Then you just got to quarter them up, throw it in there, and they said they'll go through bones like butter. You're good. No problem at all. That was also in another movie. I think that was in a Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal. I think it was in one of the sequels. They had like pigs that they would feed them.
So if you killed Jesse, that's what you're going to do? That's what you would do. If you had to kill Jesse, how would you do it?
Why am I killing Jesse first?
That just whatever. I don't have a clue. Just say she done something that you want to kill her.
Like what? Because certain things are gonna like. Sometimes a gunshot wound's too pleasant. It's too easy to get off the hook.
Just something that's worth you killing her. And you said,
Did we cheat on taxes? Did she cheat on me? Did she drown somebody?
She cheated on you with your accountant. There you go. That covers taxes and.
Ooh.
What would I mean?
Am I killing the accountant also?
No, just one, because you don't want. And you
Well, that's not very fair.
And you're going to call her. You're going to call it in as missing. She's missing from the house. What would you do?
Well, first of all, I'm probably going to kill both. It's not. I mean, it's not all her fault. So, something like that. Like, that's going to go on for a couple days.
Kill her for a couple of days?
Yeah, we're going to take some fingers and some toes, an ear, a tongue. We're going to dismember it. We'll dismember it first, cauterize the wounds, and then we're going to feed pigs daily with arms.
Okay, so you're going to get caught because you got way too many details in this.
I ain't going to get caught. I'm going to leave my cell phone at the house.
That's
and
the
I'm good.
key. That's the first key.
That's
right
it.
there. Or
and no cameras.
No.
No.
You have to do it with no phone around. You can't take your phone. You can take your phone with you. I'm not going to use it. It don't matter.
No,
they
it's
can
gonna
find
ping.
it. That's right. So no phone. I'm going to go and get me find somewhere where I've got some acid in a 50-gallon barrel and put a body in there. You can't trace nothing once all that body's gone. That to me is the easiest way to do that. Because you always take a chance if you bury somewhere that some bitch is going to come and find a body. You just can't throw a body in the woods. You have to bury the body. Correct?
I don't know. I was just thinking, my dad, he has property down in Jack County, and he loves shooting pigs. He'll shoot a pig, drag it over. There's a little bluff. Drags it over there, and the buzzards are trained. They attack, and they clean that sucker up
But there's
in
still
no
bones.
time.
There's still bones, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You get somebody walks through and finds a foot or an arm or somewhere, and
Just
then you got
pulverize
you
it.
got the FBI there again.
Maybe.
We had a guy that worked for us one time, and his girlfriend cheated on him, and he dreamed about these things. And he would talk about he would take her in the woods, and he would knock her teeth out with a hammer, so they couldn't do no dental deals, and then feed her.
He had some resentment. He had that Cain and Abel
yeah,
thing
he was
going
a
on.
little upset. It was a bad breakup.
Yeah,
and he had
as
this
you can
whole-
tell.
I mean, he had this whole deal about dragging her up there.
They didn't
killing
leave
her,
on amicable terms.
knocking her teeth out with a hammer, and then all this weird shit. I was like, that boy's sick. I mean, he put a lot of time into this. It wasn't just like a 5-minute driving down the road. I mean, he really put some really analytical thoughts into this shit. But I would think that the best way to do it would be a acid vat of some sort.
The BTK killer, did his family turn him in?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I think he got caught. He worked for the city of Wichita, Kansas, if I'm right, and he worked for the Parks Department, maybe. He got kind of cocky, I think, at the end.
He was taunting them. I know that.
Yeah, because he would do that. But I think that he got caught. I can't remember exactly.
I wonder what that is with serial killers that don't want to get caught, but they want to play this cat and mouse game with the police. They start taunting the police. I don't know if that just
It's got to be
adds-
an adrenaline thing.
Yeah, the killing's not enough, so let's put a thumb in the eye of the people that are chasing me, kind of thing.
You ever done something that you knew that was illegal to do, but you
Never.
were scared to death before you did it, even though you hadn't done anything wrong? Like when we bought underage alcohol, we used to have a place in Wichita Falls we'd go get drink. I'd be a nervous son of a bitch going in there. I mean, if a cop pulled up, I already had my excuse before I walked in there. I hadn't even done nothing wrong. I was walking in the store, but in my mind, I'd already I was guilty of the crime before I ever did it. And then you get the booze and you run out to your car real quick, and then you drive off. And you're like, that's pretty damn simple. But I was scared to death before I did. Driving there, I'm like, oh shit, if I get pulled over, I ain't even done nothing wrong. So I wonder if it's that, and that's just buying alcohol. But I wonder if they want to make sure that they know that the crime was taking place, but they want some kind of media attention on killing someone, but they don't want to get caught. But they want to make sure someone knows someone killed it.
Yeah.
And it's the same person.
I'm sure it's a big dopamine hit. Mm-hmm. You know.
So he sent a floppy disk to the police.
BTK did?
Yes. With all this information on it, said he was the BTK killer. I guess the cops were questioning him, and he asked, could a floppy disk be traced? And they said no. And turned out it could. So then that's how Dennis Rader. But his last killing was in the 80s, and then they arrested him in 2004. I guess he started.
Was he a big? I'm connecting him with church.
Yes, it says something about a church. In February 2025, Rader mailed a 1.44 megabyte floppy disk to a Wichita church with a note saying, I am BTK.
Yeah.
And then the police, I guess, got it from the church, and then they analyzed everything. And the computer that the floppy disk came from was registered to Dennis Rader. And that gave them everything that they needed for the last 30 years. Huh.
I'm not much of a criminal, but I wouldn't want to get caught. I don't think I'd be doing anything. I wouldn't even speak to a police officer. I don't understand these people. Like the Zodiac guy, it was a game to him. It's all about puzzles and
Killing wasn't enough.
it's.
Have y'all watched The Perfect Neighbor?
I don't know if I have or not.
No. Is that like it's not the trailer park, it's like the suburbs, isn't it? Where a lady? Isn't it a lady?
It's the lady, and she lives maybe in, it may not be Section 8 housing, but a housing area, and the kids are playing and stuff. Well, she ends up killing one of the kids' moms.
I've seen it advertised. I haven't watched it, though.
You should watch it.
There's another good one. The cell phone one with the daughter. Did you watch that? Crap. It was the one where they were sending.
Oh, yes.
What was that number? What was that? What was the name of that show? But yeah, this daughter.
Yes, that was nuts.
Jeff hasn't watched it, but a 15-year-old daughter, she gets a text message from a random number.
What was it?
Like, hey, your boyfriend hates you. He really loves me. He's going to dump you, blah, blah, blah. Well, like, this goes on for like 18 months. And the messages just get worse and worse and worse. Like, you need to kill yourself. Nobody likes you. You skinny ass bitch with no ass and ugly hair. And then she'd get a message during school like, I can't believe you're wearing that today, you big slut. And just these messages go on for, like I said, I think a year and a half, 2 years. And parents go to the.
Had the boyfriend dumped her during this time?
No, they're still together. They're still together. And she's like, boyfriend's like, no, I love you. I don't know who's sending this. Like, I haven't messed around with anybody. Like, it just goes on and on and on and on. Parents are pissed off. The daughters, the girl's parents, the boys' parents are pissed. They go to the school. They go to the police. They're like, give her a new number. Like, let's just make it simple. Change her number. That way nobody's got it and problem solved. And they're like, no, we want to catch whoever's doing this. Well, it turns out it's the mom the entire time. The mom of the daughter.
Why is she doing that?
Never really said.
No, she was nuts.
She was
Unknown
crazy.
caller.
Unknown caller.
Unknown caller.
Yeah.
This is a true story?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened to the daughter?
Nothing. She's with her dad now.
So the whole movie is about a mom that's just jacking with her daughter.
Yes.
Like, some of the text messages were graphic. Like,
Yes.
graphic. Like, your boyfriend, he just wants this sweet stuff and he doesn't want you and you don't put out enough and he gets it from me. And like the whole time, it's the mom.
Whoa. And he gets it. I never had a daughter.
It's not true.
That's
Like,
very
none
weird.
of that's
It's
true,
weird.
though.
No, but it's just, I never had a daughter. I don't understand this kind of relationship anyone would have with their daughter, but this kind of really psycho shit.
But she
It-
was lying
it
about
was.
everything. She had lied to the husband that she was employed for 7 years.
And when it was all found out, the police are there. The dad comes home and she's like, yeah, I haven't had a job in 6 months or whatever. And she's hugging on the daughter. And I'm just sitting there. I was uncomfortable watching it because I was thinking, if I were that kid, I would just be like, get off of me.
Right.
How does her husband not know she ain't had a job in 7 years?
She was working from home. I think it was like after COVID or something. She was like working from home. So he would leave to go to work. And then she's like, yeah, I got to log into the computer. But she wouldn't collect. She handled all the bills. She handled everything. So like he just cashes his paycheck and that's all he sees of the finances. But she like, so the whole time they were like, okay, we think it's Janet that's in geometry class. So like it got to the point where like the superintendent and the principal of the school was just watching a monitor all day.
Yeah.
Cause like the girl would be like, okay, I just got a text message. And they'd have somebody that they thought it was. And so they'd go back and like rewind all the security footage and be like, well, she didn't have her phone out when this time. So the times don't match up. But like every time that they'd interview a kid, I'm like, well, it's not them. They're not going to sit down for the documentary. But the whole time, the mom's in every episode.
That's crazy.
So
And it was like 2 years.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was years worth of this.
But who
happening.
got these people together, though, is what I'm talking. The TV
Netflix.
people.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
But I mean, they weren't filming it while it was going on.
No, it's after.
Okay. That I got you now. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what getting me. So this mom called in, someone's harassing her daughter, and then start filming this shit, and then.
But the whole time, I'm like, oh, they're not. The person that's doing this isn't going to sit down for an interview. And then sure enough, it was the mom the entire time. It was a big, big curveball I did not see coming. But I wanted to rewatch everything and see how the mom answered the questions in the earlier because it's only like 2 or 3 episodes. It's not terrible. But I wanted to see how the mom answered the questions in the early episodes when they're acting like they don't know who's doing it. I thought that would have been fun to do.
I wonder why people get so caught up in these stories, because these true crime podcasts are huge.
I think it's just, I know, at least for me, like why are these people this way? Mm-hmm. Like it fascinates me not knowing, like, why are you like this?
But what part of society is it that's murderers that people like? I mean, why don't we like hair-lip midgets? We're all worried about that shit. I mean, it makes you wonder, why is it murderers that we're all, because it's such a huge fascination by people. Is it because 99% of the people in the country would never do what they do?
But they all fantasize about it on some level?
Yeah, that's what makes you wonder. I mean, everyone say, I wish that some bitch would die. Everybody has said that. You know, you don't really mean it, but you've said that before, you know? And, you know, I read a statistic not long ago how many people fascinate about their spouse being dead. That's a very common thing. Not you killing them, but if they're dead, what I'm going to, you know, that really surprised me too, you know? And then I was watching King of Queens the other day, and whatever the guy's, Doug, Carrie and him had gotten a deal. And she goes, "You don't ever fantasize?" "Yeah, but you're always dead when I fantasize about who I'm going to be sleeping with next." I thought, you know, and that's back to that deal where people think about their spouse dying. But I don't understand the fascination with people that, and I'm the same way. If there's something about a murder, I read about it. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, society really, really, really dives in to these true crime deals. And it's kind of like they're heroes if they can get by with this shit. And I don't know why. Because even in history, Jesse James, Bonnie Clyde, all those people, Bonnie and Clyde were cold-hearted killers. And the American people just went out and forced trying to make them heroes. I mean, they cold-blooded killed police officers and everybody. Mm-hmm. They were terrible people.
Do you think we'll ever get an answer to Jack the Ripper, or do you think that's too far?
I think that's too far.
Too far gone? Just going to have to hypothesize. The Devil in the White City, I'm trying to think of who that was about. Wells, maybe? Maybe he wrote it. He was America's first serial killer, and they had the Chicago Fair going on. Who was that about? The Devil in the White City. I had to read it in college. But he had like his apartment rigged up. He had his apartment rigged up to where like he could kill somebody up top and then it'd shoot him down into the basement.
Was it not H.H. Holmes?
Yes, H.H. Holmes. H.H. Holmes. I think they're making a movie about him. I think Scorsese and DiCaprio are going to make a movie about him.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to see. The Devil in the White City.
Where's this out of? Where's the White City?
Chicago.
Okay.
They had the World Fair going on.
Oh, yes, I have read this story. It's a very good story.
Yeah, they had the World Fair going on.
He had like little rooms within this, and one room might be gassed, or the other room might.
If you checked in, you didn't check out.
Mm-mm.
But nobody kept tabs of people back then.
Yeah.
And it was during the 1916 World's Fair, wasn't it?
1893.
Okay.
1893 is when it was. Yeah, H.H. Holmes. But
was he a doctor?
No, I want to say there's some connection with like a Sweeney Todd, but I could be making that up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I skimmed that book in college and took my C and left. DiCaprio purchased the film rights in 2010. In January 2025, it says they're still trying to figure this out.
It says Dr. Henry Howard Holmes.
I was thinking he was a doctor. Because supposedly he did some experimental shit too, I think, on it.
Yeah, he might have. But I don't know. I just kind of felt a little bit like the guy in England.
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, Jack the Ripper.
A lot of people think that it was someone in the royal family because they found grapes in the abdomen of some of these girls. And grapes was only something rich people could have. And they think that he would entice them after they had sex or whatever. He would give them like a handful of grapes and he would kill them after they had eaten them and stuff. And that was their only connection they could come with. That's why I was wondering about that. Like how do you say the word DNA? Not the woman one, but
the McDonald?
No, the big long word.
Electrophoresis?
No, the other the DNA, mitochondrial
DNA.
I always had trouble in biology saying that word anyways. Mitochondrial DNA. If they could do that, they could exhume them bodies and see if they could get anything else off of them.
But you'd have to have a suspect. I don't know if they have a suspect.
The royal family. someone in the royal. Hell, they're all cousins. They're like Arkansas. It's the only difference. Royal family in Arkansas, all the same, all inbreeding.
Yeah, but I don't know how much DNA from them is going to be left on the victims.
I don't know about that on that deal, but that would have been one of the things if they could have went back, and they're never going to find it's way too far back. They're never going to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's a shame because that's a great mystery. A lot of people think they come across on the boat. Some people think that the Jack the Ripper was on the Titanic, and that's why it never happened again after that because he was one of the passengers.
I had never heard that.
You learned it first here on the Big Honker podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. BTK, there was another serial killer I was going to talk about, but my brain's not working today. Nicotine pouch isn't hitting today.
So many of those people, though, they're serial killers. Take like Henry Lee Lucas. He claimed a lot of stuff that he didn't do. I mean, I don't know. He might have killed Miss Rich, and that girl might have been the only two people he killed. I mean, I don't know, but one time he said he killed 100 or 200 people.
Yeah, he was just doing it for the free milkshakes, I think.
The Menendez brothers, do you believe that they were actually tortured in their own home, or do you think that they were just spoiled brats? Because that's how they portray it to be, like they were sexually assaulted and everything, but a lot of people are just like, yeah.
Yeah.
They just, parents wanted them to grow up and they didn't want to grow up yet.
Yeah, I can see both. I can see both sides on that.
My wife and I got into big arguments when we were watching that show. That was fun.
Whose side was she on?
Well, if you believe the sexual assault stuff, like...
So she thinks the kids are just victims and the parents deserved it. What do you think?
I don't know.
Y'all had an argument, so you had to have some opinion.
Well, I just play the devil's advocate, and it's more fun that way.
Yeah, you do that a lot. I can see where you pissed her off on that deal.
But she would, like, oh, if they're really going through that, then these parents had it coming. Which is true, I guess, but...
How would we ever even know?
Right. Yeah, it's just their word against two dead people's word at this point. But I had heard, like, they got cut out of the will or something, and then that was the reason for them to get shotgun blast to the head. I don't know. But I had seen that they're eligible for parole or something. Something happened, and
they got
they're
denied just the other day.
Oh, they did?
I think so.
Damn it.
Just like a month or two ago.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
It was after that show because everybody started feeling bad for him with the sexual assault from the dad.
What about Helter Skelter Charles Manson? Do you think he was a government agent?
You hit on this last time, and I don't know. I need to read that book that you talked about.
It's interesting. It's an interesting story. Charles Manson was a weird dude. Yeah. No dad. Same type of situation. Raised in foster care and in penitentiaries as a kid. But he went to San Francisco, and that's when he got into they keep letting him out all the time. I mean, he did all kinds of shit. There's no way in the 50s and 60s you can do all that shit and just get released all the time. It's not like today where you get 17 strikes before they do anything. They'd put him in jail and he'd get out all the time. So he had to been doing something as an informant for someone to get by with stuff. And I don't know if the FBI was doing it against, the FBI and the CIA both tried to suppress the Black Panthers and the Muslim Brotherhood and all that stuff. And he was involved in all that stuff because he was trying to start a race war, supposedly. But one of the things I read, he went to the house where the Tate girl was married because someone else lived in that house before, and that's what he was going there for.
What?
And I can't remember which guy it was that used to live there.
It was
a
one
record
of the
producer.
Yeah, it was for the
Beach Boys?
Beach Boys.
But it wasn't Brian Wilson though, because him and Brian Wilson become friends. But it was someone that had told him no on something.
Wasn't Hinman? Hinman was Gary Hinman.
That sounds right though.
I feel like I'm mixing it all up.
So I just looked this up. The crime stats among serial killers. It says there is no smoking gun, but of serial killers, they cite 55% of serial killers have a domineering, abusive, or unstable mother. 70% have an absent, rejecting, or weak fathers.
Well, Charles Manson wasn't a serial killer. I think he killed one person maybe in his life. And it was the black guy. They got in an argument over a drug or a gambling deal or something.
Yeah, he just orchestrated it.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of dummies followed him.
Yeah.
Those women were dumber than hell. I mean, dumb as you could be to be in a cult doing that shit. But it was that MK Ultra stuff, they say. And they say that the kid that shot Trump now acted alone, there's a lot of people say he was on the MK Ultra too. He was part of that. They go to these chats and they get on there and they talk all this tough shit on there. And someone from the CIA or someone, these blacklist deals, goes and gets these guys and they brainwash them more and they provide them stuff to try to push them to do these acts. And I think that part of MK Ultra, I think that was part of the first series of that is with the Mansons. Because they just randomly killed some other people. I mean, they didn't really have any kind of, those people they killed were not really targeted for anything specific. And I'm not so sure the Tate house wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think that's exactly what happened with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were going for somebody else and didn't realize that was now Polanski house, is what I had heard. Because what I had heard is the record producer that told him no had lived in that house. He had moved out like a year before. Polanski bought it. Charles Manson didn't know, so he just sent people there to kill everybody that was inside, and it just happened to be Sharon Tate and Folgers and all those other people that were there.
That Sebring kid, and then that kid that was the Eagle Scout just come up there to see somebody and was parked at the gate and got killed.
And then the LaBiancas were after that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he went there with them and said that he was going to show them how to do it.
And then he stayed in the car.
Yeah.
Well, they were stupid as hell.
Yeah.
What I mean, that mindset to just randomly pick a family to go in there and just chop them up makes no sense. The evil, that's something you're never going to find out. What makes people tick this way? Because you can go back to biblical days and you had the same things. But that's what makes your class so fascinating, and everybody wants to be in your class. But y'all don't just do this stuff.
No.
You break down
blood splatter.
Yeah, we do blood spatter. We do fingerprinting, arson, a touch on ballistics. I'm hopefully gonna do a little bit more on ballistics this year. So, hair and fiber.
How's the ballistics work? So I take a 357 and I shoot somebody, pow, and they take the bullet out of there. That gun, completely different ballistics than any other gun in the world. That bullet, right?
Yes,
So
it's almost like a fingerprint.
So it marks the bullet when it comes through the rifling. And no two guns are alike.
No.
That's just
Right.
It's hard to believe that something that's mass produced, that's produced the same on everything, is different.
The wear on it is going to be different. I take my 9mm and go shoot it. It's going to have different lands and grooves than the same model even.
But if you shoot your gun 1,000 more times after you kill somebody with it, is your ballistics going to be different then?
Could be, but the main striations are going to be the same.
But wouldn't the main striations being another gun the same though? I'm playing the devil's advocate on this deal. But there has to be, if you're telling me that the wear, every gun's different because of wear and tear on it. If I shot you and then I went out and took my gun out here and I ran 1,000 rounds through it,
it's going to change it a little bit.
I wonder if it changed it enough that you could get off of court and say,
I don't know about that.
Have you ever seen the deal where they shoot the ice bullet? They shoot ice bullet because once it gets your body and it falls out, there's nothing there.
Nothing there.
I don't know if that's just book shit or if it really can happen.
That's book shit.
Okay. And it may be. Because I would think the heat would make it go away anyway.
Yes. What? So the tip of the bullet is made out of ice?
Solid core of ice.
Solid core ice. You got to shoot somebody quick. You can't just like have it in your holster.
Well, yeah. Like if I just took the bullet, walked in here and shot you in the head.
That doesn't make any sense.
And you got a hole in your head, but there's no bullet in it.
You said some dumb shit on here, but that tops it.
I'm just telling you.
So you're going to walk around. How long you going to walk around with an ice bullet?
I don't have a clue. But
You got to have a freezer close.
I read a book one time, The Perfect Murder or something, and it talked about this was one way that there would be no kind of evidence. And it made sense. But yes, you'd have to shoot them pretty damn fast. Plus the heat of the gun's going to dissipate that thing anyways.
I think so.
No, I don't agree with that.
Well, if Jesse's sleeping with your accountant and you got to kill them both, try the bullet.
Try the ice bullet
that
first.
might get you out. I say put them in the acid vat.
Is ice, like I said, you got to act quick because that ice pellet's not very big.
I would agree with you.
Even if it's like the size of a 45, that ice pellet's not very big and it's going to start melting right away.
As soon as you pull the trigger, it's going to get hot too.
Yeah, but like you got to have it in the freezer.
What if you shoot them in Siberia where it's below freezing anyways? There you go.
Well, then the ice isn't gonna melt.
Yeah.
Well, it would eventually in the body, maybe. Who knows?
What if it
but there
goes
wouldn't be
through?
nothing to get though. There'd be nothing to pull off. So let's talk about true crime camp. True crime camp.
Yeah. Say that 3 times.
True crime camp.
True crime camp.
They're going to come in on Friday. Mm-hmm. We're going to check everybody in. You're going to go. What kind of things will we talk about and do?
I think we'll do fingerprinting, because I think we can do a lot of hands-on stuff with fingerprinting. I'll have like serial killer. I do serial killer Fridays at school, so I'll have a couple of serial killers that we'll talk about through the weekend. I may bring some microscopes and do hair and fiber. Blood spatter. I have it's almost like a paint booth, and we'll make blood spatter inside of the paint booth.
So we're not going to do like when I went to school back in the old days where we actually knocked blood from each other and tested it. Can you believe that we did that?
No.
At Old High, when we did blood under a microscope, you popped your own blood or you done your neighbors and y'all test. Can you imagine your kids all getting blood out of each other and doing that shit? That was common.
Yeah.
And that's how we did it. So you're going to do blood splatter, but we're not going to be doing each other's blood.
No.
Okay. And then what else will we do now?
Possibly talk about some ballistics. Touch on arson.
Will we touch on things of actual crimes that have happened using these different things? Mm-hmm. And so I'm assuming also by then there will be another trending thing in the news.
Yeah.
A current event.
Right.
Because like what was the South Carolina?
Oh, the Murdoch murders.
The Murdoch. So something like that's always coming around.
That one was fascinating.
He just went crazy? No, the boy killed somebody, right?
The boy, yeah, there was a boat wreck, and then he killed the girl on the boat, and then...
Did he kill the girl on the boat to cover up that he killed the kid in the boat? Or did he kill the girl on the boat? I can't remember what it was.
It was drunk boating.
Yeah, the boating accident. The girl died in the accident.
Okay.
And then I think Dad, in order to try to cover up any cases, legal cases coming up, killed him.
Killed the boy.
Basically took one bad thing and made it 1,000 times worse.
Did they kill the mother too? Mm-hmm. Killed the mom also at the dog kennels?
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Kenny Kinsey, you can look him up whenever you have time, but he was the ballistics guy in that case, and he's fascinating to listen to. Mm-hmm. Because he talked about how the shot angle had to be in the room. It was like a shed where they kept the dog food.
Well, what was this stairway murder? We had that guy on our podcast. Well, that was in the Carolinas too, right? Isn't it?
I think it was called The Staircase.
The
is what it was called.
Staircase, yeah.
And that guy was an author, right?
Yep.
And he threw his wife down the stairs, but he killed another wife 20 years earlier. She'd fallen.
They died the same.
Yeah, they just randomly
wives.
fell downstairs.
Jeff, sometimes bad luck just happens upon people twice. But yeah, the first wife fell down the staircase. Second wife fell down the staircase. I just wouldn't marry him and have stairs.
The third
in my
one's
house.
going to be next, probably in the staircase too.
But the blood splatter on that case was pretty fascinating, also, because they acted like they said it was a fireplace poker or something like that, and that's what he hit her with first, maybe. But the hitting and then the
cast off,
flinging blood everywhere.
Did he get found guilty? He get off?
He was found guilty. It's been a while since I've watched it. I think he's out now.
How do you kill somebody and get out? It blows my mind. Have you got to go on a crime scene yet? A real one?
Oh, I don't know if I'd want to.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't want to. But you haven't got to? Have you seen a lot of pictures of old cases about they show you and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll release the whole Koberger thing, or do you think that's too graphic? Do you think they'll keep that sealed up?
Oh, I hope that they release it, but I don't know that, since he's not talking, he's not going to say why he did it or what he did, or I would hope that they would unseal
You want to
it.
see that?
That's where I was going with Ed Gein. All of the case files, it was such a heinous murder for the times. That's where I was going with it. It was such a heinous murder, or such a heinous case for the times that they were like, we just got to get rid of the evidence. So they burned all the photographs because they didn't want to keep it around. That's where I was going with it. Yes. Came back to me 45 minutes later.
Full circle.
But yeah, so like all the pictures that you see online, most of them are fake. They are just doctored up photographs that are not actually from Ed Gein because most of the photos from it were destroyed. But yeah, back to Koberger. They said there was a lot of blood. So
I mean, it was running down the side of the house.
Ugh.
and then
On the outside.
then they bulldozed the house.
They did.
Actually, I guess they got all the evidence that they need out of it, but I don't know how you can destroy a crime scene like that. But I guess they did it with Charlie Kirk too. They paved that over.
I got a lot of friends of mine have, not a lot of friends. I've got a friend of mine that's worked a lot of mass murders, and he was a big time government guy. But he said when you go to some place like that, like he went to there was a Super Bowl party in Frisco a couple years ago, and someone killed like 7 or 8 people there. And he said the blood was 2 or 3 inches thick. And it gets hard, he just in the smell and stuff. It takes a special person to do that kind of deal. Perfect murder. This is the perfect murder before we get off of here. Shoot them in Chicago. Do you know like 75% of the people that get killed drive-bys there, they never even charge anybody with? So if you want to kill your spouse, take her to Chicago, then have someone do a drive-by and they'll never find out who did it.
There you go. Heard it from Jeff first. If Mom goes, we know what happened.
Did you enjoy your goose hunt this morning?
I had so much fun. Yes, thank you.
It's a different experience, isn't it? If you've never done it before.
Yeah.
Especially if you're hunting deer and stuff all
Yeah.
the time. It's a different deal. All right, March 6th through 8th, get a hold of me. We're going to do the True Crime Camp. It's $250 a person. That's lodging in the hunt. Lodging and the whole thing. If you're not staying here, it's still $250. We have a limited number of people that'll be here. So please get a hold of me at stanfieldhunting.com. Well, that's you don't want to do it that way. 940-658-3172, or look me up on any of my social media, jstanfield68 at Instagram, and you can come here and be a part of this. It ought to be a very interesting deal. And I know all you women out there thinking about ways to kill your husband. Here you go. This is your chance to learn how it's all done.
Get a group of girls together and come on.
Oh, it'd be a great deal. Bring your some wine and hang out. It'll be a really good time. It's for girls only. So for the little interested guy that's asking me about it, we ain't got nothing for you on this deal. It's just for girls. So thank you very much, Erin, for
Absolutely.
being. Look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace. Goodbye. God bless. Have a great Thanksgiving.